Hello, Nikori. Hello, McFell. How are you both doing? Designer? That's not what I wanted. Do this first. How is everybody doing? Still need to get set up here. As I feel with every stream now, I have no clue what we're gonna do. Yet. We'll figure it out together. Figure it out together. Let's see, so let's do this. Hey, Maddie! Go in! Doing good, how about you? Need to head off to school for a few hours though. Oh no, school! I'm gonna be honest, don't miss school at all. Yeah, I'm doing good. It might be a shorter stream today because my parents are coming over for a visit. So, may or may not be a shorter stream. Wait and see. In the meantime, I didn't do any work on the scene in the background. I've been busy with other stuff. Let me see. Thing we worked on. I kind of fancy just playing around with like a bunch of stuff, honestly. Maybe even trying to make like a start of a new scene or something, just to play around with stuff. Let's see if we can do something like that. Let's have some fun today. I'm gonna call this playground. We'll rename it later. It even works. Uh-oh. Oh. I think last time I tried to do this, it didn't work, so. By the way, when's the next portfolio review? It's next week. Next week we'll do a new portfolio review. But let's have a quick look. We probably have like a bunch of people in the backlog for the portfolio review. Let's see. Today's session, it ended with Joe Bates. Yeah, so we're still running behind like a couple of entries, so we'll have to see. Okay. So, playground number 1. I am just gonna clear this whole thing out. That's not what I want. Kinda. Oh, wait. I got them selected, that's why. This little drop down is so annoying. Scale this up. Oh. Guess we're just gonna do this then. Okay. It's kind of messy the way that I'm doing it. feel like way too lazy to build like a new level, you know? And set up like all the foliage instances and all that kind of stuff again. Add somewhere else as well. Gonna head off, have a good stream. Thanks, McFell. Thanks for popping in for a little bit. And designer is saying always catch the stream at work. Awesome. What's the time then currently? I mean, I am streaming in the middle of this. Let's see. So what are we gonna do? I kind of want to make like something more open, you know, something like this maybe. We can cool. Instead of like the shots that we have now. 1 p.m. Oh yeah, we're in the same time zone then. Don't know why I asked that question. Okay, so how are we gonna tackle this? I'm just gonna take like, let's say like a starting point like here. Do you have a tutorial about making medieval houses? I don't know how to make straw roof or straw like walls, etc. Really have a tutorial, honestly. Like I kind of took a lot of inspiration of how The Witcher did it. I think it was The Witcher. See if I can quickly find it. Yeah, this one. I took like a lot of inspiration from Mark Foreman's work when it comes to like the general setup, which is actually like really nice. His stuff is obviously like a little bit more detailed than mine. So, I don't think this even is from The Witcher. Sorry, it's just because he works at CD Projekt. Yeah, but I don't really got any tutorials though. No tutorials. And I don't think I really show it off. I do breakdowns, you know, like I show off like how I made the material myself in like the last stream or the stream before, but I don't really have a tutorial. Hello, Arthur. How's it going? So, let's see. Something. So I'm good. Here. Kind of have like the house on the hill. Still have a camera floating around. Cameras. Snap the object to pilot camera. Today we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna play around a little bit. How do people learn making these cool materials? When I try, it looks horrible. It's just, you know, like, first step is that you're not going to get as good as, like, a senior environment artist just in the get-go, right? Takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, right? So be kind to yourself. Take it step by step. Start with something simple, right? Most of the materials are made in Substance Designer. So start with something simple like files, and then work your way up. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Making a new scene? Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun today. Have some fun. This guy. Kind of see what we're doing. Oh yeah, this is the annoying part, right? Because I can't select like all the control points from this one spline, I think. Oh yeah, I can. So segments. No, I need to delete the control point. Yeah, okay. Astronaut, welcome, welcome. What are you doing? Yeah, today we're just gonna be playing around, having some fun. We'll see how far we get. Just start by smoothing this all out. Kind of have like a little. What's going on? Situation. A little hill. Kind of have like the background mountains, right? But I think what I'm gonna do with those background mountains is just like make like a quick mesh and import those in. Like I said, some fun, play around a little. So what's the first? I gotta figure out like what's the distance of the town gonna be. Okay. Area are we looking? I think down on a hill like this, right? This distance would probably work. I'm gonna get some references in here, right? So I'm just gonna grab some blueprints or like some houses so that I can have like a scale reference. And that gives us like an idea on how far we need to build this stuff. Let's see. We can kind of use that as like an anchor point as well of where we need to build like our city. Probably want to... So I want to make it epic, right? Because up until this point, what I have done with my scenes is I've kind of made them like very, very condensed. But I kind of want to make something like a little bit more epic. A little bit more like an open world shot. Let's see. Kind of just floating, but we add new stuff in. I'm gonna add what I need, right? So something like this. Imagine that you want to be an environment artist and discover beyond extend. Hell yeah, happy to have you here. Got a lot of people want to become environment artists, and I'm happy to to share what I know to help you on your journey. So this is a good reminder as well. Like, feel free to ask any questions, right? I got some good questions in the chat already, but feel free to kind of use this as like a little Q&A session. Anything that can help you. Some big mountains in the background, maybe? Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna make those as like separate meshes. I'm not gonna sculpt them. Gives me more freedom of movement. Right? So see. What's up in here? Yeah, because this is a long distance. Good. Exactly what I want. To be fair, I'm just gonna remove everything. How much time have I spent working on the environment? From beginning to end, we're coming up to 3 years now. But that doesn't mean that I've spent like 3 years actually working on it like on a daily basis, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, I think in February we've been working on this environment for like 3 years. Let's see. Building the foundations now. Place everything with dirt. It's gonna take a little bit because it's also updating like all the stuff that's spawned on top of it. Everything. God, why is it struggling so bad? There. Yeah, I'm working on a massive map. We kind of have like the pathway. Take like a flatten, like a round sample. The first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of carve like the path that leads towards down. Maybe it makes more sense if I do it. Take mud, so that we can get some visibility on this. Astronaut, I want to complete my environment art portfolio. I come from a middle class family and I'm curious to which subscription of Beyond Extend is better for my purpose and budget friendly. I mean, I would say that all of our subscriptions are like really friendly. Like really budget friendly. Like we're talking about like, let's be honest, like the highest one currently, well, no, the highest one currently is still a mentorship, right? Yeah, the second highest is 12.5 per month, right? And that includes like workshops and like my weekly reviews if you want to take part of it. It does include a lot. What is better for your purpose and budget friendly? I can't really decide that. It's a very good question, but it's a tricky one to answer because I don't know work, I don't know your situation. Let's see. It's not gonna. Like this curve going on. You can already see that like we're running into like issues here. What I would recommend though, Astronaut, is just start the base tier, right? And then see how much value you're getting out of it, and then you can still decide later on, right? That would probably be the way to go for you. Make this path like a little bit smaller. This curve needs to come up a bit more. There, this is still like very long. Let's use it as a base. Right, and now what we kind of need to do is get like the terrain to kind of show us more, or like use the terrain advantage to show more of the path going through the town, right? Because that's what's really nice here, that you kind of see like the entire path in front of you. I'm gonna see if we can kind of build. I think what we want to do is kind of have like this. Pushing it a little bit too. Designer saying that it's worth it. Thank you so much, designer. Yeah, good amount of time and we stop in the middle. Yeah, I think so. This is something that I was talking to other people as well. Is the thing that really helps with this massive project is that I'm not working on it full time. You know, so there's like months where I just don't work on this at all, and then there's like months where I'm like, okay, let's pack some art in and let's do some work. See, this hill goes up. Just like very generic bumpiness at them. It's fine. Gotta keep in mind that like all this stuff is about iteration. Stuff we do. About iteration, pushing it a little bit. Back and forth. Seeing what works. Let me actually do save that. Actually do like a really quick block out full. Curious, I want to try something. Like I said, we're gonna be playing around, right? Size, let's say let's do that. Let's see. Subdivisional. Display. I was gonna see if we can slap like a clouds texture or something like that. Anything that I have lying around really. Textures. so that's really not... I'm gonna see. Okay. Angulate. So subdivision, let's make it a little bit higher res as well. To what I'm currently doing is I just want like a little bit more geo, right? At this point, I don't really care about like how much. I'm gonna probably just put it to 99 anyway. Give this a try. So if we... No idea how this is gonna work, right? Experimental. We then weight paint. Radial... radial gradient? Like the... Plug that into the displays. I mean, crazy right now. Let's fill again. Oh, I guess... No. A fill. Wait, it was a fill. Whatever. My situation here is I know Maya, Substance Painter, and a beginner level Substance Designer. I just want to complete my portfolio to get hired as an environment art to get into the industry. Yeah, I mean, look, like the best thing that I can say is if you're really keen on joining our community, right? Just give it a try. 1 month. 1 month, and it gives you like a 250 pages PDF full of tips and tricks for environment artists. So you're getting your money's worth just purely out of that book already. And then the rest of it, you kind of get on top of it, right? Honestly, in my opinion, and I know that I'm biased, like there's nothing really lost here. Okay, let's set this. Let's invert the... I'll say it is. It looks a little bit whack, doesn't it? It's a little... Okay. Let's... I think I might just go in. Sculpt. Just apply. Don't care. Let's sculpt. We'll have to switch over to... rejig my setup a little bit here. Okay. That down here. Quick sculpt so we can get something in for the background mountains. First time sculpting with the new tablet as well. Let's go. Just need to get used to like the hotkeys and all that stuff again. What was smoothing it out again? Okay, so this is smoothing it out. Oh. Yeah, just a little bit of background terrain at the moment that we're doing. So layer, do we lay strips? I think what we're gonna do as well. So I'm just gonna make this more like an actual ridge, right? Instead of just like a freaking cake like I was making it. Like a quick. Oh, it doesn't have a bottom. Is that really what's screwing this up, Blender? What about using Ant Landscape? ANT? I have no clue. No clue what that is. Is that like a plugin or something? Wait, hold up, hold. Oh, I did combine them. And yeah, I mean, if there's any other questions that I can answer, Astronaut, just let me know. You know, add on in Blender. Ah, that's fine. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Do like a little bit of a sculpt here. Oh, didn't apply the scale. Still not. Well, screw it then. Again, we're not going for perfection, right? I'm just trying to get something in. Get our little bit. Yeah, today's session is all about fun. We're making like a new area, right? So I'm kind of just seeing, just having fun, seeing what works. Definitely just focusing on speed rather than perfection. And hopefully we'll have like a few happy accidents along the way, you know? Hello, hello, puns. Hello, Andrea. Are you using a Wacom Pro? I am using a Wacom. It's not a Pro though. Don't think so. I don't even remember what the name of this tablet is, even though I got it recently. Black Friday, baby! Get some painting in there, right, so that we can kind of see the ridges a little bit more. And just doing this haphazardly. Just screw it, you know? It's like our move brush here. Strips, clay, grab. Have you used Gaia? Oh, I have used Gaia, but it's been a long time since I used it. Probably use World Machine way more than I ever used Gaia, though. That could be fun to explore at some point. Like, generating landscapes in, like, node-based platform, right? Before I do this, let's, sure. It looks more like a cake, you know? Make that work. Okay. Did I ever use Dinotopo when sculpting? Yeah, I have. It's pretty useful. Pretty useful. Let's, see how this works. Let's just put it on the desktop, you know? Nothing ever went wrong. Don't do I like the most? World Machine, because that's the one that I use the most. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what, like, the pros and cons are between the different programs at this point. If I had, like, a better idea, I'd probably give you, like, a more in-depth example, but I don't. Let's, switch back. Switch back to the main screen. Just gonna dump it in. Acid fall. Then where's the nanite? Let's have a look. But yeah, thanks for asking, Andrea. I'm doing good. Good. Just gonna have a little bit of fun today. An ant apparently gives you good results with some parameters that you can adjust and some presets. Awesome. Little landscape. Let's. Oh, that's so quick. Let's go. Kind of have like this background ridge. Like for this stuff, you don't need a lot, you know? Especially in the early days. Scale stuff squished. Parallaxing going on, so like multiple layers of the environment. And curious if we can placeholder. You get like the spot right, like where we want to put it. Gaia feels better to me, and it gives more premium feel. Gaia is better. Yeah, like from the looks of it, right? Like obviously World Machine, I don't know if they have like a new update, but World Machine just looks and feels outdated, but it can give you good results. Gaia feels more like the current day standard, right? And I think Gaia 2 is coming out pretty soon, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't have all things to base it on. Like all the parameters. Let's see. Have like a little slope on the right, which is pretty. Gaia 2 is coming soon? Yeah! So. The massive play. Feels like I'm back in painting class or something like that. Coloring between the lines. Let's see what the side looks. Probably like a little bit close to the right. Even though like even in the frame here it's quite close to the right. Kinda cool. Like it does feel like the environment is kind of shifted to the right. World created is artist friendly. I mean it's layer based. Oh, I don't really I don't really mind the difference between like layer based or node based, right? Like at this point, it's probably easier for me to do it node based than layer based, which is interesting now that I think of it. Hi Simon! Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing great. We got my parents coming over in a couple of hours. That's nice. It's been a while since I've seen them. And we're just having some fun, you know? I don't know when they're gonna arrive. I mean, I have a rough idea. But it might mean that I need to jump off at a certain point. That's why we're just having some fun. See, we can already like kind of draw a spline. And use that instead. So we kind of have... Are you recreating a scene from Kingdom Come using your asset kit? Currently, yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm just having fun, you know? And like their world is so awesome that I'm gonna use it as like a starting point. Then we'll see where we end up. It's also a good trial, or like a good try for me to see how flexible everything is, right? In terms of like the assets that I created. Because eventually this is also a test for me if I'm gonna sell it to someone else, like how usable this all is, right? Let's see. Setting up like the screen is... I think we have to select the control points. Or... Okay, so segments. Yeah, so spline meshes. We make a new spline mesh. I call it something long. And we can add another one, which is like a road 02, and then we get like... Oh. Yeah, and then I think now we switch back to goal points, and then we can control like how wide something needs to be. So we can make it like smaller again. Good morning, Alan. Kind of have the side fall off, which I... Oh, dang. Select all. Did I? Will this environment be playable or just for render purpose? I mean, both. Like, I'm trying to make everything real time, right? So that you can run around in it as well if you wanted to. So it kind of has both at this point. But the main purpose of it is just, yeah, for like making like awesome screenshots for scene. I guess you could call it more render purpose. And then I think what we can do here is if we select, it's in this panel again. So we can now deform, basically use the spline as like a guide of where we want the terrain to be, right? So we can kind of use that to control things. Kind of say like, oh, deform the landscape to like all the splines, and then this stuff will happen. This is probably where, now that I think of it, like the side fall off comes in handy. So if we increase, say to 1,000. Yeah. It gives us like more smoothness on the sides. Do I use RVTs? Yes, I do. I do. They might bug out at certain points. But you can kind of see that I kind of use them to like blend stuff together as well. So, how does this look? The curve is a little bit too exaggerated at the. If we press R, like it will automatically update the rotation. So what is happening in our ref is that we kind of have this turn that goes straight. And I'm kind of doing it the opposite way, weirdly enough. So let's fix. Because my turn kind of goes inwards rather than outwards. Hey Brigitte! Welcome to the chat. See you. How are you doing? Let's rotate this. Landscape. This point doesn't really change anything to the. This is the one that we kind of have this going outside. Kind of want it to be more on the outside still. It goes. Auto rotate like these and hope. Brigitte is doing great. What about you? Yeah, I'm doing good. Just having some fun. Let's see, I think the distance to the town. Hey, Jasmine! Welcome to the stream. Great to see you here. Let's see, so I think what we could do, what we need to do, I think, because now what's happening is, let me actually do like a quick draw, right? I think in terms of volumes, what I'm seeing is that we have like our first volume here, right? We kind of like the mound, and then we have like a secondary volume that's going to be like the background, right? So we kind of need to see if we can kind of separate the two out a little bit more. And what was currently happening, we pushed the mount back too much, like the two volumes blend into each other, right? So I think if we push it a little bit more forward, it could help us. And I think also the distance based on the path that's here, I think also was a bit too long the way that we had it before. And we can kind of build like our way around it again. Yeah, how are you doing, Jasmine? Don't know if you heard anything, Brigitte. Have you heard any reply yet? I'm also sorry for not replying to your DMs. I swear. Like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll read something and I'm like, yeah, I'll reply to that later. And then I completely forget. That happens a lot. kind of doesn't go into the town, right? We kind of have like this little hamlet before it, and then you have the walls separating it. So this is almost like the stables or like the inn for like people traveling past it, and then you have like the actual town that's inside of the walls. Let's see. And that does mean that the road is probably going to move up a little bit because we want to have like a couple of houses here. Let's see if we can throw some. Huh? Where the hell did that go? Okay. I guess we'll find that. We'll find that at some point. Okay. Looking cool. Thanks, Jasmine. Yeah, I mean, you kind of caught us at an interesting point because this is like a scene that is just like brand new, compared to the other scenes. For the sake of comparison, what I'll do is I'll open up the previous scene, like the main scene that we've been working on, right? So you can get an idea of what's happening. Just put it up. Yeah, just working at the moment. Yeah, me too. But yeah, so this is like the main scene where it's a little bit more established, right? Like a little bit more polish went into it. We then set it to and more interesting to look at. Let's see. It's an interesting. Yeah. Like this is like the main scene. So I think for this stream, I kind of just wanted to play around a little bit, like see how far we could go in like a new scene. Yeah, for the people that are new to the stream, this is kind of like what it could potentially end up looking like. Still waiting for the final answer. Oh shit! YouTube notification system is worse. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. I barely watch like live streams myself on YouTube. Interesting. Amazing work on these. The ambience is so good. Thank you. Now back to basics. You did like the hay roofs? Yeah, they were really interesting to make. This guy tapped into. It's actually interesting. I feel like thatch roofing or like hay roofing is something that I've done so many times now, but in like so many different ways. Like I had to do it for the first time I had to do it was because I was making barns in Planet Coaster, and I did it in like a really weird way. Well, it kind of worked in the end, but I kind of did it in ZBrush with like fiber mesh. So I kind of treated the hay as like hair, like just really thick strands of hair, and then I sculpted it in like a very manual way to be like the islands that I needed. So it was really interesting with that approach, but it was so annoying to work with. So annoying. Ridiculously annoying. I think I spent like a week just trying to like, because I was literally combing hair, right? It was just hay, but I was just combing hair the entire time. It took me like a week to get it right, I think. Also, I mean, didn't really know what I was. Some time to figure it all out. I recently had to make some too, and there's an odd mix of foliage and architecture work that's both fun and difficult. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because like I think you can get like a good basic look, but like to get it looking convincingly, it's really tricky. And I still have the feeling that I need to do more work on it. Yeah, it's an interesting mix, like you said, like a lot of things coming together. I'm just slapping some stuff down, really. I'm gonna see what works. Stick to like the smaller. I need 2 more buildings. Don't really have anything tower-like yet. Oh, well. I guess as a placeholder, what I could do. Kind of use the tower that we use for the walls, right? Here. We could kind of use that as like a placeholder for, look here, church. Stand out as well. Alan recently had to do a roof that at work. Oh, like that at work, sorry. Without an opacity map, and I wanted to die. What? How do you do that? Like, just pure geometry? Oh yeah, of course the deadline is end of day. Like, it's always end of day. Well, I guess you could have, like, mesh cards, right? Like, little strips. Yeah. Even the way that I think about that is, like, already, like, a combination of tech and art, right? Because I'm like, okay, like, if you want me to do this, then I'm gonna have to set up, like, some sort of generator to do this stuff for me. Because there's no way in hell that I'm gonna do this by hand. Especially deadline is end of day. Yeah, sounds like fun, man. Great fun. To be honest, like, there is something about those deadlines. Even though they're really annoying. Like, there's something about, like, doing something at the end of the day that's really crucial that I really enjoy. Like, some of the most fun I had was when parts of the team were like, we don't currently have an idea on how to do this. And like no one's really has time or is willing to take accountability or ownership of it, right? And I was just like, yep, let me do it. Go. There's something really fun about that too. I would say that you can't really live like an entire development cycle like that. Just going from like stress to stress. Visa. And they kind of don't fulfill like the same need as these ones do, right? They have like a nice chunky silhouette. Like a very rounded silhouette, where mine... Oh god. You look at them in isolation, they kind of look pretty bad. Oh! Okay. Iterations, people. I'll work on those trees in an update real soon. Can't tell my boss that. Nope. Yeah, I feel like a lot of game dev, honestly, and this is gonna be like not even like studio specific, right? But like a lot of game dev comes down to being able to talk to the people in the correct way so that they exactly know what you're trying to do, or that they know exactly what you're trying to get them to do. I feel like that's what a lot of game dev comes down to. Like, the accuracy of language. Compared to something else, right? Like another job, it feels like you need to be very specific. Like very on point with how you say stuff. So we've got a couple bees over here as well. Oh, honestly. No, you're gone. No. No, that was the whole point. Damn it. Oh, wait. Sapling. These are the big keyboard. Kinda need to set them up again. No, not 2000. What am I doing? Oh. Oh. I thought I was changing the radius. Oh. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Density. Thanks for popping in, Alan. See ya. A little. Way too dense still. So the issue with this is that it doesn't really convey distance, right? Like, they're like really, really tall. I don't think the big ones even work for like this distance. Maybe I just made them too tall. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time. I'm just plonk like a couple individual ones down. Making a new village? Yeah! Yeah, we're just having some fun today. Today's gonna be like a very fun, relaxing stream. Philip Rotman, hi, do you have a summary of the Environment Artist Handbook? A summary? Like, as in what's included in it? Because it would be pretty tricky to summarize like a book with like 250 pages of tips and tricks, which is basically what it is. Like, it's 250 pages of individual tips and tricks that are crucial. I'll not say crucial, but like really important to know as an environment artist. So it kind of goes over the workflows that we use, how to make your art look better. You know, like a whole bunch of tips, like how to bake. Like, it basically has a lot of the major topics covered. It serves as like a really good introduction to then do like a deeper dive into it. So we have like this kind of like drastic slope. Yeah, daddy. It's actually something that I need to get back on the website again. Just like a overview of what's included and what you can expect getting it. Hill that's coming up. And it kind of just like pretty flat over here, right? I think we're just gonna see. Something. You add custom brushes to paint with in Unreal. Yeah, I think you can. There's like an alpha where you can plug in like a texture. I haven't really used it that much. Like usually the terrain work that I do on my personal projects is like very basic. I mean, you're seeing it in action right now. That fancy. One thing that I like to do when I'm working on things like this is you'll see me hopping about like a lot at a time, right? So I'm working on the landscape now, but then I'm also like constantly comparing like what I'm doing, like what I'm currently missing, right? So the next step I already kind of have like pre-planned in my head to a certain degree. But that makes it feel like chaotic at totally fine, right? I thrive in chaos. I think sometimes it's just really interesting to highlight that the creative process is not really something that I like to put into like brackets, right? Even though like most tutorials and like most things out there is like, oh, look how this. Like, I'll be honest, like for me, it never really worked. Obviously, there's like steps in the process, right, that are kind of always going to be samey, but like having such a rigid process that I'm going through never really aligned with me. I'm gonna sculpt too much here because it's the back, so you can't see it anyway. Let's see, I think kind of a bit low. Let's just fill this all. Oh yeah, the road is definitely different in mine. For sure. something that I'm gonna look at next. Fill this all in. Because I think what we're dealing with is we also have like a way bigger slump than they have, right? So I think like a difference in terrain is just like a little bit too sudden here. I think if this a little bit up, and also push it over to the left side. Or up. Yeah, cows we're gonna have to replace with something else. Unfortunately, I'm gonna do cows. I kind of have something like this going on. It might even... Because now what's really annoying is that you see the repetition because you're actually looking at it at such a weird angle. Kind of need to break that up as well. Triple oiseaux. Oh. Sarah. You think... This is gonna be so cursed. You think we can rig him to look like a cow? We just have oiseau like on 4 legs, like in the middle of a field. With the horrible stretching and all that stuff that comes with it, you know? And we can herd of oiseaux be on 4 legs. Yep, exactly. Yep. Okay. Then see if this works a little bit better. Feeling it does. I think I have an idea what we can replace the cows with. We have some of these... Oh, these guys here. These haystacks. Like a couple of them scattered around. We will definitely need to cut the grass as well. Some better music. We're in the sad space again. Oh my god. Camels? No. Oh yeah, we can just slap like a black and white like cloud texture on those camels and make them look like cows, right? Great idea. Trying to get like some of these awkward spots out of this rain. A bit more smooth. Oh yeah. Wood. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Get like a little indication. So like remove the sections that we. Right? Also have like path going off to the left somewhere. So I have this path go. Need to make sure that that's like visible. Oh, it kind of goes into a dip here. Oh yeah, that's because I changed the landscape spline. We need to push up that. I think if we just push it up, right? And then again, I'm just gonna go to lines. Form it again. A little bit. Make that work. Yeah, while I'm just painting away, for the people that are new to the stream as well, I just want to send a reminder that it's totally fine to ask me any questions about environment art, where you are in your artistic journey, any game dev questions as well. More than welcome. Happy to help if I can. It's additional. I read a study from my previous course that had Kingdom Come Deliverance score very highly in realism. I wish the game was more interesting to me. I think that's oftentimes like a juxtaposition of the two, right? Like something that is like very highly realistic just doesn't really have the same staying power as something that's like very fantastical. Allows us to like really like live into it, right? It also depends on the execution of it too, I guess. But yeah, the stuff that they did on that game, very interesting. Very interesting. They did a lot of historical research. They replicated like a bunch of places that are like important. What's the word? Like Bohemian history, right? Anyway, like the history. Forgot the name of the region stuff. Definitely inspiration for me though. Like I mean, kind of working off a concept right now. You guys do a great job creating the realism of it. Based in Czechia, right? Yep, I think so. I think it's a Czech studio. Warhorse, right? Warhorse Studios? It says somewhere. I like a lot of ref. Do an amazing job creating. Like that game also has like a special vibe, you know? Like compared to something like The Witcher, which has more fantastical roots, right? Like something like this, I think is gonna be definitely more niche, right? Like it's definitely gonna be like more of a cult hit, but it's definitely gonna be appreciated for uh yeah, just more history nuts, right? People that care about that. Yeah, we're still kind of getting like a little dip in the environment, which I don't really. Oh, you just got to the part, Philip? Yeah, if there's any more questions, let me know. Um, let's see. To look at the road, right? Because it is quite nice that it kind of feels in view, but there's obviously like a lot of shortening here as well. Could do. Because what I do like is that whenever you have like this, like a road like this, what I do like to emphasize is like the area here, right? Because it kind of leads you off a corner and kind of adds like this intrigue and mystery. So if you can go into like a slump here and then make the road more visible in that area, I think that's always a good shout. Let's see. Just tricky to. So could have it going up, but then Yeah, and then it kind of goes around the corner here, which I'm not going to continue this way. Probably just going to this way. So what I'm imagining now is that we have like the town here and like the road kind of goes around it, and then maybe there's like an entrance somewhere. And then what I'm imagining as well is that there was like a river or something. Small little river. There's no real indication here apart from like the little bushes, right? Like usually they follow like crevices or like natural waterways. Because that's where you would see like more growth. Because of the water. Let's see. I remember at this point. Good do. Have like a junction. Slowly. See. We can scope it out just a little bit. Kind of just using all the tools, you know. Make a great rally track. Yeah, all the mud. That would be cool, you know? Like just doing like, I mean, it would never be like an official crossover, but just like modding a map that isn't made to be raced onto like a racing track. Like racing, like, or just putting like a rally car inside of Kingdom Come, you know, and just cruising around. Saying that, there might be a mod for that. Oh, I need... indicate that this is like the forest edge. Some of this stuff. Peace. Yeah, I made the trees myself as well. They do need a little bit of love. I went the most silly way possible and I made like my own geometry node setup then make trees. See it? Don't want a big chunky. This is the thing, right? Like the ref has such a nice volume of trees here, but I don't really have anything like that. So it's also partially bushes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cheat a little. We're gonna take a very level artist approach to a current limitation that I have. Trees. Sinking it, or bush. Instant bushes. Select. How long have you been working on your asset pack? In rough time, we're coming up on 3 years now. Started this project in February 2020, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I've been working on it for a little bit. I'm not gonna add too much of them though, because we definitely need bushes. I think maybe that's something that I need to do like sooner, because I keep running into this issue. Make a note. You won't believe how I achieved these trees in Unreal. Oh my god. Yeah, the red circles and the arrows in the thumbnail. Oh, oh, and my face, you know, like, oh my god. Right next to it. Yep. Onto a winner, guys. Oh. So, seeing that is happening. Getting like lots of shadows. Let's take the big boys. Oh, we need to add an explosion as well? Are explosions still like a thing in thumbnails? I don't even know. Well, I mean, the lighting is not... That's right. This is... It's literally angling away from us. I think... we were to set our preset to something. Oh! Ooh. Ooh. Kinda has. Oh my god, the red sun in the back. Oh, I just realized I deleted the clouds. Dang it. No. Back here. Yeah, this one works really well in my other scene. I think in this one currently so much. Foggy. Dawn. I think the issue with these is that most of them are really calibrated to like my other scene. This one is kind of cool. Like it has like the silhouettes of the town in the back. Hmm. See. Evening one was pretty good for this, I think. We're not gonna fully replicate the whole. Well, I kind of could, right? Because now Blueprint is no longer attached to the other one. Good. Play around with a lot of things. I'm gonna set it to midday again. Let's see. Dusk is. Then let's block out more of the town. Let's actually see. Gonna drop some stuff here. Hey, Hafiz Faisal! Thank you so much for subscribing. That's awesome. Some more buildings in. Pivot point on this. Oh, if not in the thumbnail, it needs to be in the video. Oh shit. I need to. Okay, in that case, I need to get like a stream overlay thingy going, you know, where I can add like dynamic explosions onto the screen or something. So silly. Hanging cable. Where's my spline? There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, this blueprint is also one silly. A bunch of wattle fencing. I think that's the fence for down there, right? Drop that there. This with the actual wall pieces. Which wall? So. Definitely not that one. 4 and 5? Yeah, that's this sort of wall. But what we can also do is just have like, instead of having like a fully built up wall, maybe be cool if we can just I don't know if I built variations for them. Yeah, I did, but they don't match. And number 3 has like the back end. This way. This is the annoying part. I don't think I've set it up in the correct way where maybe like it feels too slow to work with at the moment. Like it doesn't feel fluid. So that's an indication that I probably set it up. Maybe it didn't do like the instancing properly. I'm scattering spline. Do I have like an offset in it? I think I did. Would actually be pretty interesting. Escape section. Oh, okay, so getting the tangent. Then I think we could do. I'm gonna give it a try. Quick test. Quite confusing that the is what public is. Let's see. See if this works. I just up everything. See. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get close to that. That looks completely messed up. Camera. Done. Oh no, this is the tangent. Do that on the tangent. Stupid. It's one here instead. Yeah, there we go. So now I can control the like a little road going down here as well. And I need to figure out what's happening here. These. Yeah, what is everyone's weekend looking like? People got some nice plans for the weekend? I think on my end, we're just gonna go to a bunch of Christmas markets with my parents and probably go check out like a couple of restaurants. What else are we gonna do? Oh, on Sunday we're thinking about going to like the local zoo because they have like a Christmas market in the zoo as well. Could be good. Really just join Christmas time. Area. Oh god, Andrea. You have to do it. Old wine? What? How dare you? No, I just got sick. Sorry to hear that, Simon. We get well soon. What are you gonna do, Andrea? Are you gonna have like a shit ton of mulled wine then, huh? Just to spite me? See what you're on. Let's add some bushes. Really is time that I make some bushes. Can't be doing this shit. It's nasty. I'm gonna see if I can... I don't know the command for this, but I'm gonna see if I can find... Slod? Instead it is... That doesn't... Honestly, like, a tree by itself, like, doesn't really work. Like, it just don't look good. Like, I think if you put them together, right, like, it's quite nice. But, like, a tree just by itself... Well, let me be specific. The trees that I currently have, just... They don't really look that good if you just put them by themselves. They're not looking great. It's time that we do some work. I'm gonna try and finish my sword this weekend. Need to switch focus to a school project next. Awesome! Yeah, best of luck, man. Oh, what I'm gonna do as well, I'm gonna go in... Gonna set it to... Transform, and so that I don't accidentally move it. What I do like here is like the amount of variation in the houses. Something. Then we're gonna go closer and see what needs to be. Little barky boy has awoken. so or we have to deal with like the sort of stuff. Hold on, let me be right back. All right. That. Let's see. We gotta push this because they have like a very steep drop off. It's kind of backs this whole area. So try and do the same thing. You know what was really interesting? Like in the Spotify Wrapped, where like highlights like how many times you listen to songs and what your favorite genre and so on was. It was actually like a little personal message from the person who made like all the soundtracks that we use for streaming. He just wanted to say thanks. So that was pretty interesting. Pretty unexpected as well. Yeah. It was awesome. That was just in there, like in between like all the rest of the items, right? Where it said like, oh, you listen to this, blah blah blah. It says like, oh, someone's ringing you, and it just has like a little video recording. That was yeah, a pretty interesting move there. So we got like the. Maybe we should start with the houses first. You can kind of see the fields or something. Oh, you got Howard Shore, but he didn't leave a message? Yeah, all those big guys trying to just too busy, you know. How dare they? Let's see. I like this little road. I kind of want to keep that there as well. So I'm gonna just do like an indication of it. You have like an idea. So and it kind of follows just like the outskirts of the wall. Hey Max! Go in. Select camera. Like a frame of reference. I shrink this at all? Be quite handy, no? Can though. Gonna have to deal with the slope over here. I'm gonna be looking through like a bunch of blueprints that I have so that we can some more. Okay. Gonna put like a shed next to it. Where's this reference from? It's from Kingdom Come Deliverance. Awesome game that I've used for like a bunch of inspiration as well. I would highly recommend checking it out. Swag it. So let's see. We're kind of just filling out like the roads a little bit. The structure of it. Interesting. Watchtower. I mean, this is the benefit of working at a long distance, right? Like, well, a part of you making a game. It doesn't really need to work, like it's more about like the actual placement and how good it looks. Really trying to use that to my benefit. Trying to make the silhouettes like really pop out. Certain buildings. Get like a interesting shape. Whole town going. See most of that. Yeah, what I think I need to do my camera around a bit. because we kind of shifted the composition. Hided it. Kind of making sure that we're gonna go back to like our we had before. Because what I'm currently looking at is just a division. And if let me do an exercise for myself as well. I think if we draw on UREF, yeah, if we look at it, like where like the highest point is, that's like roughly on like the division point, right? Like the golden ratio. Like if we were to divide the frame in 3 pieces, then you could see that the top is going to be. So that's the thing that I'm trying to replicate. Because what we had before I changed it, is that down was coming into like half the frame. Is not really something that looks great. More interesting composition if we do something like this. And then we just fill this up with like nature, right? So we have like a strong division between nature and man-made as well. Which one was the nice one? I think it was evening. That sound. Oh. That was LinkedIn. I had no idea where that sound was coming from. Let's see. What are we doing here? I'm probably going to change the mood a little bit. You know, the mood is pretty nice in like the main image. Also, the thing, don't really have a church. Let's see. Oh, let's make sure that we lock the movement again. Amazing what you can do by just like pushing stuff inside of each other, really. Just make it look like a church. Necessarily have to be one. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make the church the highest point, right? So it would be good to have that. and scale down like everything in the proportion, like proportionally to it. And also, like we're seeing here, if we just focus on the shapes, right? Like the silhouette of the shapes, like you kind of have like a little bump and then it goes down again. And with us, like with our current layout, we don't really get the same kind of feel. So I think what we'll do is I'm gonna see if we can get that back, like introduce that a little bit. Because if we have that slope, what we're basically trying to do is like we're trying to create like a triangle, right? So like the most important point in your composition is where the triangle is going to be the highest point. You can kind of see that happening, right? Like your eyes kind of get guided towards this right now. Way more than it did before. See if we can emphasize that. Back. Try is something very hacky. Again, just trying stuff out here. But I'm duplicating the trees to see if I can make them fuller. See if that gives me like a better result. Do not recommend this, right? Do not ever do this. Please. Yeah, but like the fullness of the trees definitely adds to the whole vibe. Like they're, once you start seeing them more as volumes, like they kind of add more to the picture. Oh my god. Yeah, of course you have to come in at this point. Raj, thank you. Always do this for optimized results. Yeah. It's a cinematic way, right? These are really small. Someone talking about disastrous stuff, Raj appears. Yeah. It's like a calling, exactly. If someone says something I don't agree with, I appear. I love that you're even saying it yourself. So, this is really taking shape, right? And you can kind of see, like something that I discuss often is that lighting makes such a huge difference, right? In terms of the... Again, it's silly sometimes, right? It's silly sometimes, like how quick changes can have like a drastic impact on the way that we feel about the current stuff that we're doing. See. Big though. Big trees. And it's the issue, right? Like they're too sparse. Sort out. Say add more mountains, more grass, and more trees. Yes. Or think. See, right? Because we're gonna use the trees kind of as like a barrier as well to kind of lead you into the frame too. See how that works. Punk it over. Like I'm really getting frustrated by it. Well, annoyed by how bad the trees look. Like they're not serving the purpose, right? Like in this picture, you really get like nice, chunky, fluffy trees. Like mine are just. It's okay. Just do our trick that we did before. More mountains, more grass, and more trees. I think. What I need. I need to change some of the foliage layers. Where did I add that? Grass types, right? They call. Oh god. Full distance. 20k. What is that? Horrendous. Is that? Why does it look like that? Oh, those are. Oh, yeah. Those are like the mega scans ones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, their LODs look like atrocious. Let's not do. I'm literally going through a list right now. Oh. Set this guy. There's a lot. I think if we then, because now it's getting really apparent that there's like a lot of color variation. Oh. No. 0.02. Do. More mountains, more grass, and more trees. Let's add a couple. well. Shape, right? As far as I can push and pull with them. Pull the mountain. Add anything there. I think probably better served along this way. Background. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about like the big stuff that happened over the night, right? The Game Awards. How did you all enjoy it? I don't know if people watched it yet. Haven't either. Like we've watched a little bit of it, but it was like literally in the middle of the. There was cool stuff. Was one game I think Fit for a King that had like a really interesting art style. So hacky, I love it. Yeah, let's go. Hacky, hacky. What do we need? Just need like more variation in the grass, right? Didn't watch it, but was satisfied with the results. Don't even know. Like, I know that Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year, but I mean, was there like any competition really? Right? I think everyone saw that one coming, like by a mile. But I have no clue about like any other what is it? Results yet. So what were you the most satisfied with, Sarah? In the meantime, the thing I noticed is that this entire section of completely I do not. I'm gonna add more layers into this. Because I kind of want to have like the first layer here. Go flatten to it. Not nice, but at this point we're just gonna push stuff down. Get my see what I'm. Heal Newborn getting best performance for Asterion. He's so wholesome. Oh my god. Yeah, that part we did see. It was kind of cute. You know? Like the way that he got on stage, like shaking. Like, I mean, I would 100% do the same thing, right? Like shaking as he was trying to get like his acceptance speech done. Oh my god. So real. kept cutting off the acceptance speeches early. Yeah, that's what I've read. Yeah. Whose fault is that, huh? Don't know what the person's name is called, but like the voice actor from God of War, right? Last year. Oh, was it 8 minutes? I think he said so in this year's. Yeah. Thanks, man. Then him also throwing shade to... Whoa. Sorry. Him also throwing shade to Call of Duty development. Yeah. That was interesting. I think we went a little bit overboard with sculpting of this. Yeah, I don't want it to be like a steep drop-off. They deserve the shade though. I think honestly, if you really want to throw shade, like there's so many other things that deserve shade, like way more currently in the industry than what they did with the Call of Duty campaign. Let's be honest about that, you know? So to me, it kind of felt like a really funny, like, jab, you know? Because they don't want to talk about the real stuff. That's the way that it felt to me. I think also, there's also like another aspect to this always, right? Is that no matter what the business decisions are from like higher up, there's still developers that like work their ass off to get it done. Like management rushing dev teams. Yeah. And also like all the people that got fucking fired, right? Like that's the big elephant in the room. Just games companies making money hand over fist, but then still downsizing because they didn't make good business decisions like 2 years ago. Ridiculous. I guess he didn't want to burn too many bridges. Yeah, but then I get it, but then also don't bring something like that up, right? I don't know. It kind of... It's always interesting. I don't know how to really feel about that, right? Because at one point, it's like, I know that's all fun and games, and I really hope that the developers are not going to take it personally, right? But then also, I don't know. You know, it still feels weird. Hey Christian! Hi Timothy, love your work and love watching your streams while working. Wanted to ask, what workflow do you use for your foliage? Currently doing it for a personal project and searching for work. What do you mean in terms of workflows? Like the programs or the actual workflow that you're going to be using? Because trees, especially trees, they get really complex when it comes to the workflow, right? Because you're combining like multiple aspects of the creation pipeline into like an end product. For example, the bark, right? The base of it is just like a tileable texture. Oh, actually, no. Scratch all that. Let me do you something better. We actually have like a great workshop on how to make really good looking foliage. So let me just send a link in chat because that's gonna do way better than me trying to explain it. Let's quickly get the link. Oh, like site. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Just gonna send the link right here. That would be my recommendation. Go check out that video. Because Billy Matthews knows what he's doing when it comes to foliage, especially compared to me, right? Like, so I would say that that's like probably like an overview from like everything you need to know for like foliage creation in general, right? And even though like the tools that I use are like a little bit different, like the workflows and like the steps are roughly the same, just the programs are different. Yeah, he's awesome. A great person. And hey, if you really want to take it to the next level, hashtag not a sponsor, go check out Skilltree, because Billy Matthews does mentorships there. Let's see. Currently just fumbling around, you know? Oh. Currently really just fumbling around. Yep. Totally non-biased opinion from Raj in the chat that he loves the mentorship. Okay, thanks. I will watch after the stream. Currently, I do ZBrush to Painter, then build a tree in Max rather than Speed Tree, etc. Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Thanks for the link. Oh, it's a big foul. No. But yeah, back to your question, Christian. You can build trees like that, right? But like the thing that you're losing when you build trees in that way is that you will have to do that for every tree that you make. Like the benefit of having something like Speed Tree is once you've kind of set everything up, like you're just generating a tree, and if you need like a variation, you just generate a new one, right? Like variations almost come for free at that point once you set it up in Speed Tree. It's more about like in Speed Tree you're setting it up in a way where it generates like a type of tree, and then you can change the seed on like whatever you want to kind of get more variations out, right? It has a lot of built-in tools as well for log generation, and like it has a lot of really interesting tools, especially when you're creating foliage. The reason why I don't use it is because I'm planning to sell what I'm making. That's the major reason why I had to do like this massive dance around like not using Speed Tree. If I wasn't selling this and it's purely personal work, just use Speed Tree. Yeah, like Raj is saying, once you got the base tree in Speed Tree, you literally click random and it generates you a random looking tree. Honestly, yeah, if I wasn't selling this, I would be using Speed Tree as well. There are plugins for Blender as well. M3, Spline. There's probably like a couple of other ones, but those two I used. But they tried to do the Speed Tree thing, but they can't do it as well. To be fair, it's been a while since I checked them out, so I don't know how relevant they are, or like how improved they are. Hey Snowbat, welcome. Let's see. That's a good question though. I think, yeah, if you're doing any type of foliage and you're not selling it, Speed Tree is the way to go. Let's see. Time to pick it back up. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and also that kind of ties in with your point as well, right? Like when you're using it in the industry, um, like a lot of companies. I mean, don't want to say all companies, but I think like the vast majority of companies that still do foliage work, they're gonna do it in SpeedTree because it is like the standard program to use it in. So if you know how to use SpeedTree and like foliage really interests you, then that's gonna be like another skill that you can use to like sell yourself. I kind of like what's going on here. So we get like a little bit of an up and then a down again. I think I still want to push this down a little bit more and have the same sort of layering going on in the background as well. Let's see. I mean, you probably want to push this one down. And then back over here and just if you know foliage as an environment artist, it gives you so many bonus points. Yeah. Yes. Annoyingly so. And I'm speaking from experience. Even when you don't want those bonus points, like those bonus points are going to be worth so much that you wish that you might have never gotten those bonus points at a certain point. At least in my opinion. Look, I'll say that with the caveat of I'm not a foliage artist, you know? I'm not a prop artist either. So yeah. The times that people realized that I could do foliage was like, oh, you're doing foliage now. I was like, no. I do foliage at work, but due to engine constraints, we do it differently. But yeah, I believe it's time to fully dive into SpeedTree. Yeah. I think so too. Like I think it is like for like a good technical artist, right? That wants to spend a lot of time diving into like how to make your own like foliage generator inside of Blender. It's I think 100% doable. But you need someone who just knows like the ins and out and like has like a bunch of time to dedicate toward, which I tried to do. It's still a work in progress. Wait, can I not? Can I not select you, Rampy? Yeah, there we go. Okay. How many things do environment artists need to know? Oh, Andrea, please don't think that you need to know foliage if you want to become an environment artist. Let's make that very clear, right? I learned foliage when I was already in the industry just because I wanted to experiment with it. But I would have obviously been totally fine if I didn't know any of it. Like, it's more at a certain point, right? Like, especially if you're trying to become like an environment artist, I think what is really important is that you know the core skills of like how to bake down like a single asset, how to use trim sheets, how to use tileable textures to still make like something looking good by blending it with a height map or something like that. And then, let me think. What are some of the other components? Obviously, you know, being really well skilled in building like a good composition, art fundamentals are really important. But at that point, once you've mastered like the core skills, then you get to choose where you want to specialize. And I think foliage is one of those specializations, just as terrain sculpting is also a specialization, right? Where people that do, well, there's like a subcategory in like a lot of companies where they're like either called foliage or nature or biome artists, and they're usually responsible for either foliage or trees, right? But they have, apart from when I was a foliage artist, right? Because at a certain point, like even though I I never had the official foliage artist title, but I was an environment artist doing specifically foliage for like a year or something like that. But apart from that moment, I've never really used those skills apart from my personal project. You know, it's like a benefit that you kind of know how stuff works, but I've never used them, especially not in like a professional setting after that point. Like I think either, like if you want to really zoom out a little bit, right? And if you're looking at like environment art, I think it comes down to two big choices. Is do you want to focus on the individual items, or do you want to focus on the big picture? And they both come with like different prerequisites and like different skills you have to learn. That's like it's like a massive generalization, but I feel like that's what it comes down. Which is just rendered the same image 125 times. Let's see. Background. Because we've got these ridges, like these lines of trees. Obviously, yes, let's paint on the static. See, you can add like one more ridge, like all the way in the back. A camera. I need a point of reference. Oh yeah. Let's see. I still have my particle somewhere. Oh, those are like the external particle. Nope. And I'll drop that in. Oh! Take it easy, camera. Smoked it. I think so. Okay. I don't even know if you're gonna see it at that distance. I don't think so. I have to set up like new long distance smoke or something. Let's see, scatter like a couple of them down. That is barely noticeable. I don't think you can even see it out on the stream. Oh, now we see it a little bit. Yeah, but no chance that one in the background is. Kind of see the one in the front though. Hey. Atmosphere to it. Oh, I don't control the opacity in here. Okay. Would actually be interesting to do though. Multiplied by that. Okay. Let's see if this works. Let's have a look, see. Able to. Become like more visible. Yeah. That we'll have to try out this stuff in it, but I think I'm gonna have to make them larger. Let's see. So, you ever use a thickness map? The thickness map is only used for like texturing, right? Like if you bake a thickness map inside of Substance Painter, like you can use it for like various things when it comes to texturing an item. But yeah, when it comes to like using it in an engine, I've never had to use a thickness map. Let's say it that way. I've definitely baked thickness maps out in like Substance Painter and then used them in some sort of like procedural way to texture with it, right? But I've never had to use like a thickness map. Doing. Oh yeah, the big smoke. Smoke. See. Add more to it. So make pie way chunky. 1,000? Top of a mountain? How do you use them when texturing? I think a thickness map is especially helpful when you wanna, like it says, like simulate thickness, right? Like if you want to sell like a fake effect of, I mean, the most common example is definitely skin, right? Because it has like that translucency. But if you're working with like, it'd be a good example. Yeah, like thin plastic or something like that, where you want to fake the effect of an acid that has thickness. That's where thickness map. Like I said, I haven't really had to use it like a bunch of times myself. Right? It's in very specific cases that you would use the thickness map. Whoa! Oh, it's 6,000. Barely visible. Guess once it gets going. Having some atmospheric back. Was just wondering since I keep baking it, but I'm not sure what it did. Oh, yeah, so if you want to check where it's being used, like sometimes when you use procedural materials or like smart materials, anything like that, you can open them and sometimes it has like the slots where you can see what it's using to render out that material. Scale. That just means that we need to scale thing down. So 500 instead of 1,000. Yeah, I think what can be useful if you really want to dive into that, right? Like what is the thickness map used for in Substance Painter? I think that's going to give you probably like way better explanations than I just did. Let's do a little sculpting. Do the train. Ah. Lay down, buddy. Vividly. See if side of the road a little bit up as well. A bit more with the terrain too. And what we can definitely do, go into massage this stuff in, right? Because we did like a very crude job in the beginning. Now we can really start massaging some. Have like a little bit more of an organic spread. I had the oven on to put the bread dough in. My brain is officially weekend on. Hell yeah! Food brain weekend, let's go. Also, I'm glad you didn't burn the house down. Oh, that reminds me, Megfal. I don't have a PO box, so no, you can't send me your mulled wine. But thanks for the offer. What is this dirt? A variation that I'm... Oh, that's the dirt with footsteps, I think. We need to do like a bit more work on the road as well. We have like all this nice variation. Some if we that too. Me too. My brother and I are renting the house. Dang. Crisis averted. Barely, but you know, still crisis averted. Bread is all good. We should actually do that as well, like make our own bread. Here. maybe... I don't know if we have that really, right? There's no real farms or that. It'd be cool if we have like the indication of area. Yeah, this definitely also shows like some weaknesses, right? Like the grass looks really good, but there's not enough variation in it. And then also, we don't really have like any long distance breakup of terrain either. Definitely need to incorporate too. Put down like a couple of fake bushes. Should honestly put like a trigger warning on these episodes whenever I do this. Maybe not. Did signposts exist in medieval times? So medieval times are like a really long period, right? So in the period that I'm going for, not really. Even though I have built them, right? But what's usually more common from what I can tell is the stuff that they do in I don't know if I actually have one of them. So but sometimes in crossroads you kind of have like a little shrine, you know, to indicate that this is like the domain of whomever. I don't think I have like a little screenshot of it. But like, I don't think this stuff existed either. You know, like I might be wrong, but like no, signage maybe, right? Like symbols and symbolism, but definitely not something that would be readable because the average person couldn't read, right? I kind of have like a bunch of hay, but I don't really have like any fields. Doesn't really make sense, right? Hay is a grass. Thanks. So it would be like a What if... I don't think it's gonna work. Let's try it. No, I can't. Yeah, okay. We'll have to fake it again. Just want to try something out. Like, what if we create, like, pretty tall grass? Say... plug that in here. Which is good. Just need tall boys, you know? This is gonna stretch it by so much. But... Too bad? Add a lot of... Just add like a nice variation to it as well. Yeah. We're stretching it like a decent bit. It's that bad. But ideally, you want like a different mesh for it. Like, look. Then we want a pyre, or else. What is up with... Guys, all this hatred and all this like burning witches. What is up with that? To be fair though, it would be really cool if we have like a bunch of normal scenes and then just play around with it and have like a crazy scene, you know? Would be pretty interesting. See, not too bad, you know? We still need to polish up like a lot of stuff, right? Like, a couple things that I don't like is the wall, the way that it looks, and the town definitely needs to be polished up as well. Well, Makepal wants to burn witches. I want to make kebab. Oh, okay, okay. Now you're backing down. Okay. Oh, kebab sounds nice though. Kinda here or something? Just off the edge. At least the bushes are finished. Yep. Yep, they totally are. Totally agree. No, what I'm actually trying to do is give you like a good example of how stuff sometimes works in the games industry, right? This is 100% accurate. So it's actually a lesson, right? It's not because I haven't made them yet. It's a lesson, right? So you like it. The focus goes towards the town. Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it here. Pretty happy with how this looks, right? There's obviously like a lot of polish we still needed. But it was just fun. Fun to play around a little bit and to try out like how easy it is to build stuff with it. I noticed like a couple of things that we need to improve, like definitely like the blueprint speed was an annoying part. We definitely need to make bushes, right? We need to finalize the trees. We need like more grass variations, but I want like a taller grass as well. Tall grass, and then also just have like random flowers so that it feels more like it's like wild instead of like kept grass, right? I don't know if they... Yeah, you kind of have like these spots of colors, which are quite nice. And just adding some little more vibrancy into the mix, right? Yeah. We'll see what we can do in between the streams, because I will be busy this week, or like weekend. I need to carve out some time next week to pick it up a notch. Maybe I think focusing on the color, especially like getting some color into the scene, especially in not only in this one, right, but also in like the main ones. Finally getting some banners in and decorate them as well. Figure it out. But I'm gonna leave it here, people. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the nice chatter and all lovely questions as well. Yeah, and I'll see you a regularly scheduled time next week. How about that? Have a nice weekend, people. Bye. Oh yeah, before we go, thank you so much for being here, I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.